I don't eat those because I'm vegan, you know? And the reason I became vegan is because I found that is the fastest way to bug the crap out of everyone around me. I don't know why people get so upset at what I'm not eating, like, oh, the vegan's coming to dinner, we're gonna have to get some unicorn sprouts and some leprechaun feathers. Why is she doing this to me? Some guy in the Midwest got really mad and he goes, that's not American not eating meat. Hitler didn't eat meat. And I was like, well, yeah, but he ate dairy. And he tried to kill all the Jews. That's the two differences between me and Hitler right there. We're both average painters.
I went to meet her mom. Her mom's a vegan. When we were dating, I went to meet her mom. You know vegan. That's not vegetarian. Vegan, you can't even cook while a chicken is watching. She hates that joke. Don't say the thing about... I shouldn't do... Her voice doesn't sound like that. Don't say the thing about the chicken. I went to meet her mom. I never had vegan food before. I was nervous first time I'm meeting her. I remember, then my fiance opened the door and there was her mother milking almonds. Which is weird because almonds is the cat. No animal was hurt in the making of that joke. That never... But she made like this vegan feast to welcome me into the home. Like not a meal, appetizers, entrees, desserts, tables full of... And I'm meeting her for the first time. I ate everything. I ate for 3.5 hours. Oh. And I remember I went and sat on the couch and went, oh my God, am I hungry? 14 plates, 12 calories. What the heck just happened here? You think a vegan is meditating? No, they're passing out. Get help quickly. I got in trouble too because she said to me, what do you drink in your tea? I don't drink tea, but I tried to bluff. I'm like, honey? Vegans don't believe in honey. They think the bees should unionize. I don't know. She got all upset. They use smoke to calm the bees down. Did you know they use smoke to calm the bees down? I said, I did the same thing in college. It wasn't at BYU.
I don't eat any of it because I'm a vegan. Isn't that weird? I'm a vegan. You know what that means? It means that I don't have any friends. That's what that means. They can lift their own body weight. That's a myth, by the way. That's a myth. The other myth is about animals. I could care less. I mean, I have friends that are like, well, you love animals so much, you ought to marry an animal. Like, it's not about that. It's about health. That's why I do it, for health reasons, right? Yeah, okay, you're with me? It's for health reasons. As a matter of fact, animals had less to fear from us when we were eating them because we only had to kill one to eat for weeks. Now, I'm competing for the same garden. I gotta kill all those varmints. If I see a rabbit looking at my carrots, I'll punt his whole family. I don't care. Dude, I'm waterboarding the squirrels to find out what time the deer show up. I'm not messing around. That's my garden. I'm an anti-animal vegan for the NRA. I don't want to shoot them. Somebody's gotta. Load up, Nugent. Take your positions.
Everybody's got an opinion nowadays, though. There are some opinions I know I don't trust. Like, have you ever had a vegan tell you something tastes good? It is a garbage opinion. Disregard it immediately. I'm always like, you don't eat bacon. You don't know what you're talking about. The part in your brain that processes happiness has long since died. It's like you're blind, but in your mouth. That's like getting music suggestions from a deaf friend. And I know that's rude to deaf people to compare them to vegans, but I don't care. I'll talk all the smack I want about vegans too. They're too weak to fight me. What's up? Did you get your protein from lentils? Scary. Are there any pregnant vegan ladies here? I'll fight them right now. Other than that, I'm a non-confrontational pacifist.
And that's the other stereotype I don't care for, that they always give on Taco Bell. Oh, Taco Bell makes you poop, makes you go to the bathroom. I'm like, what food doesn't make you go to the bathroom? When's there ever anything to brag about? Like, yeah, I went to a vegan place last month, still hadn't pooped.
I watched this documentary recently too about like about the horrors of the meat industry, and it made such a big impact on me that I turned vegan for the duration of the film. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna touch this cheeseburger for another 45 minutes and 13 seconds.
Yeah, I'm trying to eat healthy. I tried being vegan for a while, didn't work, they kicked me out. So many rules with the vegans. If you eat mostly plants but some meat, then you're a flexitarian. If you eat mostly plants and some fish, you're a pescatarian. If you eat mostly plants and drink alcohol, you're Episcopalian. I think. There's so many rules. Who can keep track?
On the back of the Prius, a bumper sticker, "Save the Earth, everything is green." And out the window, a hand with a cigarette. You've seen it. It's like the vegan with the leather Gucci purse. Be as righteous as you want to be, but just be consistent. Right? And vegans make me laugh. They say stuff like this: "I wouldn't eat anything that had a face, really." Then I saw a vegan eating French fries, and I thought, my Mr. Potato Head had a face.
And in fairness, I look like this because I'm from Texas. Yeah, this is what hours of wearing a football helmet in extreme heat will do to your head. And I'm hardcore Texan. 6th generation Texan. Yeah, if you're more Texan than me, you are Mexican. That's, That's a historically accurate joke, folks, so if you didn't laugh at it, learn from it. And one of the perks of being from Texas is people love to stereotype. Like, I have been told more than once that I look like an extra from a tornado film. I don't know if you've picked up on that. And that's fair, because yeah, you know what? I'm a connoisseur of barbecue. You know what else? Can't spell the word connoisseur. I can't. That's solid stereotyping. Some people think Texans are stupid. Yeah, we are. Yeah. My best friend growing up was afraid of prisms. Man. Thought they were devices that could turn light gay. I'm not proud of that at all. I wasn't much better. For most of my childhood, I thought French people and vegans were fictional characters from literature, so we were done.
It's interesting. I shouldn't even been there, man. I tried to do like this vegan diet thing, and it's not because like I'm trying to like be healthy or be. It's like most people like it's not because I'm better than you. Like I'm not doing it because animal cruelty. I could care less. I'll kick flip a tiger on the way home. It's not animal cruelty. I'm not doing it because I'm better than you. I'm doing it because I have a Netflix account. That's basically it. Anything you do for fun, Netflix has a documentary that will ruin your day. I found out on Netflix, 50% of black people are lactose intolerant. Who knew? called my grandmother. I'm like, she's gonna be shocked. She's been black longer than me. Brace yourself, Granny. You're not gonna believe what I found out on Netflix. 50% of black people are lactose intolerant. Nobody told me. They didn't tell me either. Put that Klondike bar down. That is tearing the black community apart.
My friend wanted to get lunch the other day, but she's like, I'm vegan now. I was like, oh, here we go. With that whole thing, I was like, do you want to go to Cafe Gratitude, the vegan restaurant? And she was like, well, I'm also gluten-free, so can we go to the juice bar? And I was like, how about we just never speak again? Let's just move on with our lives.
Been to some great weddings. My cousin got married on the beach in Florida. That was a nice one. This is like 10 years ago. It was one of the best weddings I ever went to. It was very lavish. We're at the reception. We're in our meal. It's chicken. Well, there's a little card on the table that says, tonight's entree, free-range chicken. 10 years ago, I didn't know what that was. So I asked the waitress, I was like, what does that mean, free-range chicken? She's really into it. She's like, oh, I see most chicken that grew up squished up in a cage their whole life. This chicken grew up free on the range, so everyone enjoy. I was like, all right, let me see if I can taste the difference here. You know, you're right, this chicken tastes like it used to be happy. Like, what's the difference? This one tastes depressed. I'm sending it back. I don't eat sad chicken. I can't eat the sad chicken. If you're like a vegan or something, you know, I'm just joking. Don't get upset. Some people take that very seriously. Just a joke. I understand the logic behind the free-range chickens. I've seen the documentaries. Just kidding around. I say that because I did that joke. I was in Hartford, Connecticut, and I did that joke, and after the show, because of that joke, this vegan guy wanted to beat me up. But because he's a vegan, he couldn't. Yeah. He lacked the essential vitamins and proteins necessary to throw a decent punch. Plus, you see it coming because the skin's translucent. Just watch the muscles contract, like, uppercut. Whoa. You telegraphed that, buddy, yeah. Here, celery stick, go get it.
Man, I love animals. I keep thinking I should probably be like a vegan or a vegetarian, but man, I never make it past breakfast, if I'm honest. You know what I had for breakfast today? I had chicken and some eggs. Like, I don't care which one came first. I'm taking the whole family out. I'm ruthless.
My husband and I just celebrated our 24th wedding anniversary. Yeah. 24 years, he's awesome. After 24 years, you'd think there wouldn't be any surprises. But he called me up and he said, hey, I got something I need to tell you. I've been thinking about this. You might want to sit down. I've decided to become a vegan. And I'm a supportive wife, so I said, honey, that sounds terrible. Are you sure? And he said, yes, and he's doing it. He gets up every morning at 6 a.m. He puts fruits and vegetables in a very loud blender, and then he tries to make me drink it. He said, I made this one with kale and wheatgrass and almond milk. Try it. I'm like, no. Don't you want to be healthy? No. No. I want bacon. And sausage, and cheese, and hamburgers, and hot dogs, and happiness. I want to eat all the parts of all the farm animals. He said, but I made this with almond milk. It's really good. It tastes like a milkshake. No, it does not. It tastes like grass clippings. It does not taste like a milkshake. It does not. No. And just because you put the word milk after the word almond doesn't make it milk. And the dairy farmers are very upset about this. The dairy farmers want us to call almond milk what it really is, nut juice. It was on the news. It was on the news. Oh, I'd like a really tall, cold glass of nut juice. I'd like to dip my Oreo cookies in nut juice. Ew. do?
Because I don't want to offend anybody, but is it okay to talk about hunting? Like, is it okay? Yeah, okay, I figured. You guys have great hunting up here, and I'm a big hunter. I got a 10-point buck this year. Yeah, and it did not mess my truck up like I thought it was going to. That was some good eating. Once I scraped it off. But anyway, but my dad and I, we grew up very poor, like really poor. You know, like we had to eat cereal with a fork to save on milk. And everybody get it that's gonna get it? Okay. No child left behind. Okay, so... But my dad and I were reminiscing because I told him about the buck I got, and my dad and I were, because we grew up very poor, so we had to hunt, and we would go duck hunting. And I'm sorry if that offends anybody in this theater tonight, but that is a beautiful father-son moment. Duck hunting in the morning, the sun would be coming up, my dad and I'd be hiding under the slide by the swing set, and I'd be tearing off the bread, the ducks would come waddling out. Quack, quack. You know, right? You know I'm kidding. Okay. They didn't waddle like that. Anyway, I shared all this with the Texas National Vegan Society. They got so angry. I wasn't even thinking it through. They got mad. They threw organic tomatoes at me, and yeah. But they were vegan, so they weren't strong enough to hit the stage. So,
I mean, you can turn on the TV and know how we feel about food. There's a reason there's not a show called Gluten-Free Vegan Cupcake Wars. No one wants to watch it. Nobody's like, hey, did you see Salad Boss last night? Yeah. It's crazy. And vegans, I don't know if there's any vegans in here with enough strength to raise your hand. Is there one? Was that her? Was that someone calling out for meat?
I'm a vegan. Help me. I need a burger.
I'm envious of vegans. If you can do it, good for you. I ain't about that life. I've had one vegan experience. It did not go well. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm walking down the street. I pass a bakery with all these beautiful things in the window. So I just kind of poke my head in and I go, excuse me, ma'am, what are those on the bottom? She says, that's a root beer float donut. And it just came out of the oven about 20 minutes ago. Do you want one? I was like, no, I want two. But only put one in the bag because the other one ain't making it out of this store. So she hands me the one over the counter. I take a bite as we walk to the register, and I was like, no. She's like, sir, did you know this is a vegan bakery? I was like, nope. And she's like, yep, that's what I figured. She goes, see this sign right here? It says no product contains an ingredient that comes from an animal. And I was like, well, that's ironic, because this is some bullshit. No, listen, I didn't say it, but I should have, because she deserved to hear it. And you do deserve to hear it. She should have known when I came through that door that I was in the wrong place. Look at me. Look at me. I guarantee I don't look like any of her regulars, okay? And I would have had a lot more respect for her if she would have been like, sir, I think you might want the place down the street. Yeah, that's okay. It happens all the time. It's right down the street. They'll have everything you're looking for. Milk, eggs, butter, taste. Right down the street. Just, yeah. I don't know. Maybe 2 blocks. I'm sure you'll call an Uber. You can wait in here. I know. It's at least 70 degrees with no humidity outside. I wouldn't want you melting. All I'm saying is, I don't know who came up with that phrase, looks can be deceiving. But I bet they just walked out of a vegan bakery. That's what I'm trying to say.
talking to this girl named April, who's a vegetarian. Just stupid. She was like, animals have feelings too. I was like, yeah, they also have great taste, so until that changes. She's like, yeah, have you ever even eaten a salad? I was like, yeah, but it's inside a hamburger. That's where that belongs. I did surprise her though. I actually did a 6-month vegetarian diet. Just dead silence, that's the correct response. It was great. I did for 6 months straight. I ate nothing but vegetarians. Which have more meat in them than I thought they would. Which is interesting.
I don't eat meat, which I only talk about because otherwise the next couple of jokes don't make sense. I'm not preachy about it. I'm not going to give you pamphlets after the show. Don't worry about it. You guys are adults. Live your lives. But I was at a barbecue over the summer at a friend's house, and before they fired up the grill, they're like, hey, if anybody would like one, we have some veggie burgers and veggie dogs in the freezer. We'd be happy to put one on for you. Before I could say anything, this drunk lady calls out. She's like, no! I don't care if you don't eat meat. You don't get to eat something that's shaped like meat. And I'm like, well, that's a very strong opinion about what other people eat, but also, lady, I don't know what shape you think meat is, but it's not a cylinder. That's not how that comes normally. I'm not a pushy vegetarian. Don't worry about it. Like, for example, my wife and kids eat meat. Well, not the baby, because she doesn't have all her teeth yet. It'd be weird if she was gumming down on a steak. But my wife and older daughter eat meat. But just to make things easier, we usually don't have it in the house. So we have like these fake chicken nuggets that we make for my daughter sometimes. But we went out to dinner with my in-laws one night, and they got her regular chicken nuggets. And we told her, and we're like, oh, sweetie, there's a regular chicken nugget, not like we have at home. She's like, so this used to be a chicken? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking, look, that kid loves animals. This is where she comes over to daddy's side. She's like, somebody killed it and turned it into a nugget and battered and fried it? And I'm like, yup. And she, without breaking eye contact with me, just goes, awesome. And puts the whole thing in her mouth. Yeah.
It's all good, though. Good times in the Miller house. Me and my wife, we agree on all the big important stuff. Except for one thing, and it's kind of a big one. My wife does not eat meat because she feels bad about killing the little baby animals. Are vegetarians here? That's twice as many as we have in the Midwest. In the Midwest, a vegetarian's like somebody who takes the bacon off the cheeseburger, you know? 2 animals per sandwich, minimum, Minnesota. State law. Now, I'm with you guys. I'm not a vegetarian, but it causes some friction with my lady sometimes, you know, especially when we go out to dinner. But it gave me a great idea. I'm gonna open up a vegetarian compromise restaurant. We're still gonna serve meat, but only the parts the animals can afford to live without. Then out back, we'll have the world's saddest petting zoo. Me and my wife have an agreement. I can still cook meat in the house, but we have to do all of our grocery shopping at the hippie co-op grocery store. Oh, so expensive at that place. But like, you go to buy a jar of olives, it's like $8. But the whole reason it's $8 is there's a little sticker on the label that says like, no Malaysian children were harmed in the making of these olives. Which is great. But $8? But it's either that, you go down to the regular grocery store, you get the $2 sad Malaysian kid olives. You feel like a jerk all day long. Meet me in the middle, co-op. What about like $5 olives, and the Malaysian kids just kind of hate their jobs like the rest of us?
If vegetarians can only eat vegetables, couldn't they eat meat if the cow was brain dead? Got a couple ranchers in the corner. That's a good idea right there. 100% vegetarian beef!
It's amazing what you do for somebody when you first meet them, though, right? When you're in that wooing stage, like, you'll do stuff you wouldn't typically do to impress them. That's just human nature. Like, my ex-girlfriend was a vegetarian. When I met her, I stopped eating meat. And I'm not proud of that. I'm just saying, like, I know I did it for her because as soon as she dumped me, I couldn't get to Wendy's fast enough. I was like, yeah, give me 5 Baconators. I'm trying to cover up this heartache with some angina. I didn't even eat them all. Just went home, got naked, rubbed the patties on my chest. Just waxing on and off like a heartbroken Karate Kid.
I'm gonna tell you a little something surprising about me. I'm a vegetarian, and sometimes people get immediately offended by just my mentioning how I've chosen to live my life. I was doing a series of casino shows in Michigan, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and that is big hunter country. Those hunters hunt with crossbows. They do not mess around. And all I said was, I'm a vegetarian, and there was a guy at the back of the showroom, was about 500 yards from me, big casino showroom, a guy 500 yards away from me, and he was 360 pounds if he was an ounce. All in camouflage, which clearly wasn't working. And all I said was, I'm a vegetarian, and he goes, oh, he shouts from the back of the room, oh yeah? What's your belt made out of? Now, normally, I don't wear a belt because if I want to keep my pants up, I use food. Tonight I'm wearing a belt, but that night I was not, and I showed him I'm not wearing a belt. And he goes, oh yeah, well what are your shoes made out of? And I showed him that, like tonight, I'm wearing canvas shoes. And a comedian with a survival instinct would have moved on. I do not appear to be that comedian. So instead of moving on, I thought, let me linger and see what happens. So I said to this guy, I said, but sir, I have to say, for a big, burly hunter dude, you seem awfully fascinated with my accessories. Yeah. I don't remember anything after that. But I woke up 3 days later in Indiana. There it is.
I'm trying to get healthier though as I get older. I'm trying to do it without exercising because that's not any fun at all. It's terrible. So my first idea was I became a vegetarian. And when I became a vegetarian, I realized there's a whole bunch of different levels. There's some very serious vegetarians. They won't even use a utensil if it has ever touched meat. That seems like a very difficult way to live. I'm more laid back about it. Like if I go to a restaurant and I order a salad, no bacon bits, and the waiter forgets, brings me a hamburger. Seems bad to be wasteful, right? I'm a waste not want not vegetarian.
I'm a Ozark vegetarian. Yeah, I have a cookbook. I'm sure I can see by the interest. I have a cookbook I'll be selling after the show called the White Trash Vegan Cookbook. It is all chicken recipes. It's my first draft. It's my first draft. I'm still working on that.
I got a lot of vegetarian friends. I try to accommodate them. When they come over to my place, I have a 20-foot by 20-foot section of grass in the backyard. Every once in a while, one of them will eat fish and he feels so guilty. I go, what's the matter with you? Look at it this way. The fish is dead, he's brain dead, so technically he's a vegetable. And he yells at me, he goes, Larry, you say you love animals, but how come you eat them? That's why I eat them, I love them. And besides, remember that plane that crashed in the Andes? The survivors ate all the food on the plane, and when it was gone, they resorted to cannibalism. Hey, they loved humanity, but it was a way to survive. If I have to choose between starvation and munching on an ear, pass the ketchup. Every time I get on a plane now, I see all the passengers as a buffet. It's a freaky world. Oh, man, crazy.
By round of applause, is there any vegetarians in the audience with us tonight? Vegetarians? A couple of... Get her! Smoke them out! This is your intervention. We all... I guess I'll read my letter first. When you started eating kumquats, you changed. Good for you. My wife and you would get along very well. She's a vegetarian. See, it wasn't so bad. Do we have any other, by round of applause, vegetarians here? Are you here? You're just too weak to clap? Is that what's happening? Casey! Okay. I only had a cherry tomato today. I know. Does anyone have any nut butter with them? That would... Some ice chips would help. I don't... So is it going black for anyone else? I don't know if that... I'm seeing dragons. I don't know. People ask me when they find out my wife's a vegetarian, they go, Casey, are you a vegetarian? I go, well, I don't know why you say that for two reasons. One, I'm holding a coney dog. And two, if I'm a vegetarian, I'm doing it wrong. Look at me. How many carrots would I have to eat to maintain this mass? There's like bushels of carrots. Keep them coming. I'm not losing this. I bought a farm. Plant every acre with carrots. I'm keeping these curves. She would love me to be like you and be a vegetarian, join the dark side. And she's always pushing the ideas and pushing the foods. I come home the other night, she's like, hey, tonight for dinner, we're having tofu. I go, no, we're not. She goes, no, listen to me. Tofu's great because it takes on the flavor of whatever you cook it in. I go, okay, all right. Oh, hey, yeah, I get it now. Hey, mine must have been cooked in manure. I don't know. And she hates that I eat fast food. And as a comedian, I have a lot of late nights. I live on the Treasure Coast of Florida, and we close shop early, kind of a retirement town. And like, for example, I called up the local movie theater and I said, hey, what time's the midnight movie? They said 8:30. So I had a gig, and sometimes it's like 2 in the morning till I get home. And I have like two choices in that town. I either have McDonald's or crack at that hour. And I'm not sure which one is the healthy option at this point. I had a gig the other night, I call it up, I'm like, hey, I'm almost home, I'm starving, I'm gonna stop and get a McDonald's. McDonald's? I can't believe you're still going there. The fat content's so high, we don't know where they get their beef, get me a sundae. I don't know if it works that way. I don't know if that's the right thing to do.
She was, we had a lot in common. We liked a lot of the same things, except food was an issue, you know, because she was a vegan. Didn't even eat milk or cheese, and there's a lot of that going on. Especially here, I noticed on the menus in some of the restaurants. I guess there's a lot of vegetarians in here. Yeah. They're in here. They're just too weak to raise their arms. And they preach, too. I don't like to be, preached to. Best I can do is eat animals that are vegetarians myself. I just feel like if God didn't mean for us to eat animals, he wouldn't have made them out of beef, But you gotta eat right. You gotta eat your vegetables. I like fresh vegetables, especially when they're wrapped in bacon and deep fried. I like that.
So I waited till the kids are secure, money is paid off, she's all right, the former wife. I said, it's time to start dating again, looking for a mate, the perfect mate. None of this internet stuff for me. I want reality. That's what I want. I want to meet somebody. See, the initial meeting is really everything, you know. So this is a party. I met this really nice lady, attractive, you know, bright. Just had a good spirit about her. And after a couple more times we met, and then I said, okay, this is something I think could happen. I invited her out to a very expensive restaurant. I'm showing off. We're sitting down, we're having our little appetizer, just a little chit-chat, and then all of a sudden she goes, okay, before we go any further, I have to ask you this question, and it's the most important question. And I'm thinking, oh boy, this isn't good. Those questions should wait till later, not right up front, you know what I mean? And I said, well, I'm an honest guy. I'll tell you whatever you need to know. And she looked at me and she said, okay, tell me this. What is your spirit animal? Now, us guys may not be smart about relationships, but we know crazy when we see it. And I'm thinking, I don't know what she's talking about. I said, well, forgive me. I said, but what is a spirit animal? She goes, every person inside of them has a spirit animal, a living, breathing animal, and it's just free and wild, and it's what you really are. And I'm thinking, my God, she's out of her mind. This thing is over right now. So I thought I would shift positions, and I said to her with a smile, you know, to buy time, what is your spirit animal? Oh, the biggest smile I've ever seen. Oh, I'm an Arctic fox. I'm white with little black eyes, and I dart across the snow. And I'm thinking, I may not even finish the appetizer. What is this? So then she smiled and said, okay, think about it. What is your spirit animal? I said, I'm a dung beetle. She said, that's not even an animal. That's an insect. I said, I have low self-esteem. She didn't laugh. I tried a pun. I said, well, I guess we're done with that. Nothing. No sense of humor. And you know, a sense of humor, if you have a sense of humor, male or female, you're halfway there. That's just a wonderful thing that a human can have, yes. You got a sense of humor, and if you don't, we're in big trouble. Arctic foxes were not known for their sense of humor. Or are known. So that was out. Now, I meet another lady. Beautiful redhead lady, you know. And I'm talking about ladies that are middle-aged ladies. I got buddies, they all want to go out with younger women, you know, and I want somebody around my age. I don't want to footnote every conversation. I want... Good-looking lady, bright, you know, and we were different in our politics, different in several areas of life, and that's okay. I'm live and let live. You know, as long as you're decent and you're not trying to kill me, okay, fine. And she told me I'm a vegetarian. And I told her, I don't care if you're a vegetarian or a vegan or a Vulcan. It doesn't matter to me. But I like meat, all right? I believe in nature. We are carnivores. Our teeth are designed for the ripping and tearing of flesh. I didn't say it to her like that. It's very LA, these people. You know, you go to their house for dinner and the hostess, we're going to have a wonderful health salad. Oh, great, I get to crap like a parrot all week. That particular lady didn't like what I said. She was, well, what do you want to eat? I told her, steak that dick. I want it so thick it stops my heart when I'm eating. Call the paramedics to bring me alive to finish that steak. Cut my heart open and shove a baked potato in there. Maybe a carrot, too. You need your vegetables, you know. So I just told her, you eat what you eat, I'll eat what I want to eat. If you want to eat bark and berries, that's your business. So we go out a couple of times, no push, no shove, nothing. But the third time we went out, she started that subtle push. So I ordered lamb chops. She says, now, before you eat those, visualize them as a little baby lamb. And I gobbled them right up. She said, how could you do that? I said, I visualize myself as a hungry lion. And I realized that's my spirit animal! I'm a roaring lion! And I saw this glazed look on her face, as if we had detached somehow. And then I leaned over and said, what's your spirit animal? And she said, you're crazy. That one was over.
And I'll tell you, some other people I'm not too crazy about. Vegetarians. Nobody likes them. You know why? Because they think they're so special. You've been around, when you first meet them, within the first 5 or 10 minutes, this is the first thing they want you to know about themselves. It's like, now here's something you need to know. I don't eat meat. And I'm like, well, bless your heart. I'll pray for you. But I don't have time to talk about it right now. I'm on my way to Burger King. And besides all that, I don't think there's any such thing as a true vegetarian. I think they kind of sneak around. That's my suspicion. Let me give you an example. The subdivision I live in is just 9 houses in my subdivision, okay? And we got new neighbors. They moved in about 6 months ago across the street, okay? And they invited everybody over there. And supposedly, the husband and wife, they're both vegetarians. They seem to be like around 40 years of age, all right? They're vegetarians, supposedly. But I opened the refrigerator door just to get something to drink. And I saw that they had a bottle of mustard. There's a vegetarian meat. What do they need with mustard? And I was kind of sneaking around. And hidden behind the carton of almond milk was a pack of weenies. This is not necessarily funny. I just thought I'd share it with you.
Every time I go to my children's school, I am reminded of all the food allergies we never had when we were kids. I'm in their classroom last week, big sign on the wall, nut-free zone. I look around. I don't think so. Kids cannot have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. They can't have cupcakes on their birthday. You can't eat a hamburger that was looked at by anybody that lived in the Midwest.
I had kind of a weird childhood, I think. You ever look back on your childhood and think things were like weird? Like not weird, but I'll take it as this. For 15 years of my life, I believed that I was allergic to apples. totally serious because one time we were kids, my sister dared me to eat 6 Granny Smith apples as fast as I could. Now, I don't know if you guys know this, apples are really high in fiber. I'm not allergic to apples. You're just not supposed to shove 6 apples in your fat kid face in 2 minutes or you'll poop your pants. You'll sully your bloomers. You'll soil your Oshkosh bagashas. That's my message here tonight, you guys. An apple a day, but just one. That's all you need.
One night, Indianapolis, I was talking about a peanut allergy, and there's a guy in the crowd with the peanut allergy. He's mad. He threatens to take me into the alley and beat me up. Yeah, right. And I'm very proud, though. I was like, I don't think so, buddy, because I might have a Snickers bar. I'm not afraid of you, dude. You can die from peanut dust. Look out, there might be some under my fingernails from the airplane. Run away. If I need to, I'll get some Skippy Smooth, put an invisible force field on me, buddy. You don't know. What you gonna do now, peanut boy?
I feel bad for some people. Some people can't eat certain things. They got a food allergy. That's got to be horrible. I can't imagine that. I can eat whatever I want, and I usually try to. But I don't know. Does anybody out there have a food allergy? I don't want to make you feel bad, but I know it sucks. You do, cutie, right here. What are you allergic to?
Well, not allergic, but lactose intolerant.
Lactose intolerant. Okay, so you're getting a little specific with me. Well, it's not an allergy. Just not very tolerant of it. And if it ain't my nephew, I'm a little kid intolerant, so I get it. I get it. That's tough. That's one of the worst ones ever. I'm gonna come back to you. Let's see. Anybody else? I don't want to leave anybody else out. If there is one other person, nobody. Oh, that's horrible. I think you have the worst one, if you ask me, because there's somebody over here has one. Do you agree? What is yours? Gluten? So somebody just like taking their butt, coming at you, and like, no, I'm allergic. That's a dumb one. That ain't real. So. Nobody had that when we were kids, right? If a kid came in and said he had a gluten allergy, we'd put that kid down. Something was wrong. Something was wrong with that kid. Right? You're a Mormon, you just make more. So it's just... I don't know. I think she has the worst one. Yours is bad, but you can't eat like ice cream, right? I love ice cream. What happens when you eat it? Bad things. What, you just bust open the bathroom door with a knife? Somebody give me ice cream! Get out of here! Family of 4 was murdered by a lady lactose intolerant. Do you mean you just have bad, like everybody needs a 30-foot radius or something? I feel bad for you. I don't care. If I had it, I'd still eat it. I'd just be calling 911. What's your emergency? Rob, is that you? Cookie dough.
Like all successful comedians, I have roommates still, so that's a thing in my life. I love having roommates, but sometimes they get on your nerves. Sometimes you don't just get used to the things that they do. You just don't get used to it. Like I'll never get used to coming home and asking, why are you naked on the couch? You just don't get used to that. You never get used to going into the bathroom and grabbing your, loofah and it's wet on and you haven't showered. You're like, we went to the Dollar Tree together and got different colors. What's happening? So when your roommate gets on your nerves, there's only one way to get even with them. That's to steal their food. Oh, that's a line in the sand. right? But you can't just steal their food. That's crazy. You have to steal their food and get away with it. That, tricky, right? So I have a couple of rules that I follow to ensure that I successfully steal their food. Rule number 1, never open or finish a package. That's easy, right? They'll notice that. But sometimes they buy something and they don't open it. Like a box of Oreos just sits there for a week. You start losing your mind talking to the package. Soon. It's gonna be soon. I already bought the milk. Finally, like a week later, you're in the other room and you just hear them in the kitchen. Yes. You better enjoy the ones you're eating now, because that's it. Which leads me to rule number 2, only eat enough so he can't prove you've eaten any. This one's tricky, right? Oreos are a perfect example. If you're gonna eat his Oreos, take 1 off of each row, not 3 off of one column. That's a rookie mistake. He's gonna notice that space. Back it up a little, who's gonna know? Rule number 3, anything they wrote their name on, you eat that first to teach them a lesson, okay? You know. I know my name is not Carson with a K. If it was my name, I would have spelled it right, I promise you that. And sometimes they'll draw like the line on the orange juice or milk to prove where it's at. You idiot, now you're just telling me how much water I have to pour back in to get it back up to the line. They're all, I knew I didn't buy skim milk, what is this? And I know what you're all thinking, you're worried, you're concerned. Paul, you've given away your secrets. Now they're gonna steal your food. No, they're not, because I've learned all their food allergies. And I just put all of that into my food. Does cookie dough ice cream taste the same with avocado? No. But at least I know it's all mine. Put a peanut in your gallon of milk, it's safe. It's safe. And if you ever come home and see an ambulance in the driveway, you already know what happened. You just keep driving and put a new ad on Craigslist. I'm ready. Oh, I wish these were jokes. This would be clever. Another one, this one was probably the worst dating experience that I ever had, because it caught me so off guard. I'll let you know. I was on a double date with a girl and her sister, so I felt like everything was gonna go well. It did not, at all. Dinner was fine, and I looked at her, I was like, what would you like to do now? She said, I wanna go for ice cream. I was like, yes, I love ice cream, let's do it. I'm ready for ice cream that doesn't have avocado for once, so let's go. So we get there, and the other couple orders, and I'm a gentleman, so what would you like to order? And she says, oh, none for me, I'm allergic. Then why are we here? What? This was your idea. She's like, oh, I just want everyone to have a good time. I was like, this is your death trap. This is not a good time. And so I didn't get any ice cream either, right? Because the gentleman half of me was like, Paul, that would be rude. And the bachelor side of me was like, Paul, you might kiss her. You don't want any of that on your lips. Don't order any ice cream, okay? No ice cream for Paul. I'm on board. So we go sit at a booth, and the other couple, they get their ice cream. They sit down. Within 13 seconds, my date grabs a spoon, takes her sister ice cream, and says, ooh, cookies and cream. Yeah, that's the appropriate response. And that's what I did. I was like, what? You just said I deprived myself. You said you were allergic. What happened? Was I the worst date ever? Was she trying to kill herself while on the date with me? Was she expecting some sort of act of chivalry, like I'm supposed to hit the spoon out of her hand? No, you're allergic. Because I did not do that. And she's like, well, I'm allergic, but only kind of allergic. No, that's not a thing. You're either allergic or you're not. No one goes to Red Lobster who's allergic to shrimp thinking, only a 3 or 4 for me, I don't want to shut off the esophagus completely. No, that does not happen. And I couldn't let it go. I was like, why do you think that you're allergic? She's like, well, when I have a lot, I just don't feel very good. Lady, that's called being full. That's not allergic, right? I can just see her, oh, I feel terrible after that gallon of ice cream. I must be allergic. This never happens with pancakes. Oh. So we did not go out again, because apparently I'm allergic to stupid. I can't.
He's awesome, though. World War II veteran. This great guy, and yeah, it's amazing. I think back now. Since World War II, we've had the most powerful military on the planet, the most powerful military in the history of civilization. But as a people, America, we might have the weakest immune systems of anyone on the planet. You see, we suffer from now lactose intolerance, gluten intolerance, peanut butter allergies. Who knew nuts were the new anthrax? Let's hope Al-Qaeda or ISIS doesn't come out with a dirty bomb made out of ground cashews, powdered milk, and whole wheat flour, or we're in deep trouble. Right? They might be working on that one right now. Farouk, I have the perfect weapon to use against the Americans. I'm listening, Aziz. Nerve gas? Is it shoe bomb? Guided missile? No, my friend. Fresh baked peanut butter cookies. It's true, you want to terrorize a school now, you just show up with peanut brittle. They'll go into lockdown. We have a man approaching the office with peanut butter clusters and a jar of peanuts. This is not a drill. Evacuate the children to a peanut-free location. And I feel bad for school-age parents. How do you even have a birthday party now? All the kids all have allergies. The bounce house has to double as a medical tent. The clown has to be a trained paramedic. The gift bags are EpiPens and defibrillators. I can guarantee you, anyone here over the age of 40 didn't know one kid growing up that had a peanut butter allergy when we were kids. You know why? They all died. We didn't have a chance. There was no diagnosis, there was no treatment. We had to eat everything on our plate. Oh, it's a shame. We don't know. Timmy was sitting there watching the Flintstones eating a PB&J he just dropped. There was no EpiPens. All we had was a Bic pen. No one would get stabbed by that. Food allergies, horrible food. My 4 basic food groups back in the 1900s: frozen, dipped, fried, and battered. Right now, kids eat a well-balanced meal with fresh greens. The only time we had fresh greens was when the neighborhood bully was stuffing grass in our mouths.
This is how I know the immune systems are better in first class. On my last Delta flight, they were serving warm nuts as a snack in first class. Warm nuts. Warm nuts. You can't even say the word peanut in economy anymore without somebody going into anaphylactic shock. And these fools are roasting chestnuts on an open fire? Just giggling with pad thai crumbs in their beard? Doing lines of almond dust? While everybody with allergies still has to walk by them, and that walk is just long enough for your throat to close up to remind you that Mother Nature's coming for you. That's where I want to sit. I want to sit at the front next to Wolverine. Like I said, at the back of the plane with everybody who doesn't believe in vaccinations and learned how to cough from a Rottweiler. You ever see one of these people? Just human dandelion spores everywhere. Is this your first day in the new body? You seem pretty taken back by a rather rudimentary bodily function. They're always in the middle seat, dude. They're always in the middle seat. I always get the window, so now I gotta push my face up against the wall. And every time they cough, I exhale. Just make like a force field of breath. Just, I'm not buying what you're selling.
My daughter-in-law is afraid of pesticides. Are you kidding? In America I grew up in, I'm telling you, my mother used to give me a puddle of mercury to play with on the kitchen table. Here, Jeff, play with this puddle of toxic waste with this lead paint chip I got for you. Play around in that for a while, then she'd come by, scrape it into my tuna, and I'd eat it for lunch. And now I can't get peanuts on an airplane anymore because little Joey 6 rows back might get some peanut dust on his elbow and drop dead. Will someone tell me where all these peanut allergies came from? You're about my age. You even remember one kid with a peanut allergy? Not one. Now they're ubiquitous. I'm telling you, terrorists do not need to blow up any buildings. They need to take over a planter's factory and crop dust Atlanta. That's it. They'd wipe out 1/3 of the millennial population. They would. And if you have a peanut allergy, don't send me an email. You don't know what it's like. I think it's disgusting. Drop dead all you need.
How many grandparents are in the room? Grandparents have no respect when they watch your kids. You know that, right? They do whatever they want to do. And you can't say anything because you're like, it's free, so you just gotta let it happen. They don't care. You'll be like, listen, he has peanut allergies, he's gluten allergy. They're like, yeah, okay, I'll make sure. I'll give him the thing at 4 o'clock. I'll give him the other thing at 7. I'll give him, as soon as you leave, they're like, you ain't getting none of that stuff, kid. I've raised 7 kids, and they're all fine, right? You come back, the kids' eyes are all swollen. They're like, what are you doing? They're like, hey, I raised you and your brothers, and you're alive, right? That's a grandparent's only qualification for doing a good job is that you're alive. You're like, yeah, I'm alive, but I'm messed up.
But I'm not gonna get on a whole pedestal about this issue because we got bigger problems with kids' sports. The treats. You guys remember the treat parent at the end of the game? Yeah, the treats. In the 80s, we got awesome treats, man. We got like Mountain Dew or Surge. You guys remember Surge? Yeah, it wasn't Surge, it was Jolt Cola, 5 times the caffeine, right? You get that stuff, your kid would be like, wow! 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 Mow the lawn, drive the car, clean it. It's nuts, man. You got some sort of cupcake with it, nothing healthy. It was great, those were the treats. But you can't get away with treats like that now, can you? Something magically in the last few years called gluten came out, ruined everything. Gluten issues? Are you kidding me? We didn't have gluten issues in the 80s. We just dealt with the diarrhea. You know what I mean? We just dealt with it. Got a little tummy ache or scrape on your knee, your daddy or grandpa will be like, rub some dirt in it, eat the dirt. You guys remember the dirt mentality? Yeah, those were good times. Dirt fixed everything in the 80s. Right? You'd be sitting there with a broken leg just dangling there, right? Just dangling. Your grandpa would be coming to put some dirt in it and walk it off. That's how it works. Yeah. But you can't even say the dirt thing anymore because it'd have to be organic dirt. Right? Get it for $100 at Whole Foods, right? Stupid. Ridiculous. But here's the thing, when you're a kid, you play the sport, you eat your treat, you take your nap, and that's your day, right? That's all you know. You don't see the crappy side of kids' sports, which is what your parents had to deal with, which was dealing with the other parents. Right? Here's the thing, most of the parents are pretty cool, except for that one. Her name's Meredith, right? She's the worst, right? Did I change her name for this joke? No, I did not. I want her to know, right? She's the worst, right? This is the lady that brings water and celery for a treat, okay? Water's not a treat, right? Celery sucks. Yeah, you can't even put peanut butter on it because there's a nut allergy kid on the team. Peanut allergy? Oh my gosh, man. Peanut allergy, it's a real thing, I get it. But what is happening? We didn't have that in the 80s. Right? Listen, it's not the zombie apocalypse that's gonna kill us, guys. It's the peanut allergy. Right? Yeah, for sure. But the point is, Meredith's the worst, okay? But I'm gonna be the hero, because I'm the treat parent after Meredith. Yeah. I didn't go crazy, guys. I got Gatorade, right? I got the red and blue kind, because they're the best. Yellow sucks, because when you're a kid, it might be pee. You don't know. The yellow never even made it into the cooler to get cold in the 80s. You guys stayed warm in the sun to get warm like pee, all right? So if you're that last kid stuck with the yellow Gatorade, you stayed parched for the rest of the day. You weren't risking it. Yeah. So I'm not doing that to these kids. I got the red and blue kind, and then I got cupcakes. I don't give a crap. That's right. I got the Hostess cupcakes, a little swirly on top with the creamy filling in the middle. You guys know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Best kind of cupcake. Hero. Yeah. So I go to the game, we win, because we're winners. Kept score in my own head, right? Because that's what we do as parents, we keep score. We do, we care. We care. Yeah. Except for I'm the parent that voices that we won. Made a winner flag out of our bed sheets at home, my wife's still mad. Right? But I'm sitting there, I pull that baby out, I'm like, whoa! We won! Woo! Right, and Meredith's like, we don't keep score here, Heath. I'm like, shut up, Meredith! Woo! Right? I'm excited, the kids are excited, right? They're like, where's the treat parent? I'm like, guys, I'm over here! They come over, they get their Gatorade, they get their cupcakes, they're jacked up on sugar, running all over the place, right? They carry me on their shoulders, 6-year-olds. Carry me on their shoulders, it's beautiful. It was like reverse Rudy, it was awesome. Yeah, they're chanting my name, they're like, Mr. Harbison, Mr. Harbison's beautiful, I'm crying, right? And then that witch, Meredith, ruined everything. Yeah, she comes up to me, she's like, Heath, I'm sorry, Mr. Harbison. Apparently you didn't get the memo. Okay, we have gluten issues on this team, mister. Okay, and my son Timmy has a peanut allergy. He eats a peanut, he will die. I'm like, well, Meredith, your son scored a goal for the other team. I'd be doing this team a favor! You back off me, Meredith! All right, Tom, you gonna talk to your wife here or what? Oh, apparently both men in the family have a nut allergy, and they're in your purse! I'm sorry, I blacked out. What happened?
But don't, fellas, don't. If it's time to go see your doctor, please go see your doctor. Do not put that off. And I mean, I was able to go from 343 pounds down to 274. I'm still trying to get down to about 250, 249. It's hard, because I love food. I love food. I found out why I was so big. I did, because I have no allergies to nothing. That was my problem. You know how you always ask your friend, oh, I'm allergic to dairy. Oh, you can't eat that, so that helped you out. Me, I was not allergic to nothing. They come up, Sean, can you eat shellfish? Yeah. All of it. Sean, can you eat peanut butter? Put it on a shellfish. Let's go.
Another question people ask all the time is, what do you do in your spare time? As a married man, the answer is very simple. Whatever my wife wants to do. So, one applause. It was like, one wife, but okay. So, my wife and I were babysitting for some friends. We were forced into it, so we were babysitting. And I just, after a half hour in this home, we were exhausted. And it was not the kids. It was the rules the parents left for us. How many of you have experienced new parent paranoia out there? All right, okay. So, first off, where did all these peanut allergies come from? As I was like, we could not get into the home without going through a scanner and getting a pat down. Today, if you get a box of Cracker Jacks, it is empty, except for inside there's an EpiPen. That's all that's inside. I tell everybody, in the future, terrorists will not need guns. They won't. They're just going to throw in a jar of Jif. That's all they're going to need. It's like Allah Akbar crunchy style. That's it. Everything we had to feed to these kids had to be healthy and organic. We had to feed free-range chicken to their caged children.
My wife and I are trying to be pretty healthy. We last year we decided to go gluten-free because we like food, but we wanted to pay more for it. It was goal number one. We wanted to get less of it, and we wanted it not to taste as good. So far, we're batting 1,000 on that one. And you don't realize what an important role gluten plays in some foods. Like cornbread, for example, is not the most structurally sound food to begin with. And then we got some gluten-free cornbread, which was like trying to eat a sandcastle. Like you take one bite into it, and just all goes on there. That's how it looked when it came out of the box. Look at that.
Something magically in the last few years called gluten came out. Ruined everything. Gluten issues? Are you kidding me? We didn't have gluten issues in the 80s. We just dealt with the diarrhea. You know what I mean? We just dealt with it. Got a little tummy ache or scrape on your knee, your daddy or grandpa back, rub some dirt in it, eat the dirt. You guys remember the dirt mentality? Yeah, those were good times. Dirt fixed everything in the 80s. Right? Be sitting there with a broken leg just dangling there, right? Just dangling. Your grandpa be coming to put some dirt in it and walk it off. That's how it works. Yeah. But you can't even say the dirt thing anymore because it'd have to be organic dirt. Right? Get it for $100 at Whole Foods. Right? Stupid. Ridiculous.
It is a confusing world. Saw gluten-free ice cream for the first time. Exactly. That was my response. Are you kidding me? The ice cream store said, our ice cream is gluten-free. Well, that's because it's made of milk. You can't say things are gluten-free that already are gluten-free. Cars are gluten-free. You know, turn on the TV, come down and test drive one of our gluten-free Cadillacs, ladies and gentlemen. Check out those cup holders, gluten-free cup holders. Not a shred of gluten on those tires. Gluten is wheat. There's no wheat ice cream. No one's going to 31 flavors. Yeah, I'm interested in a grain-flavored ice cream. Do you have a rye praline? Maybe a barley sorbet? So I asked the kid, I'm like, is there gluten in ice cream? And he's like, hey, you know what? I don't want any trouble. I'm making 14 cents an hour. Just order your ice cream and get out. And this poor kid has been so henpecked by these neurotic diets that we carry around. Is there gluten in there? I don't want to. I was reading in Western Nutrition, Uptight Person magazine. I can't have it. Hey, stay home and chew it on ice cube. You'd be happier. No one here is concerned about their health at the ice cream store. We're just cramming down 12,000 milligrams of butter fat so we can head out and have some candy.
Trying to watch my weight. I'm on a special diet. Turns out I'm allergic to gluten-free food. And it's not easy killing free-range gluten in the wild. You gotta club them to death.
This is how crazy love is. Love is the only thing in life where it's not enough to just show a person that you love them. You understand what I'm saying? It's not enough to just show a person how you feel from day to day. Even if you do math, you have to show your work. But that's not good enough for love. You always have to constantly tell that person that you love them. Have a good day, love you. Miss you so much, love you. If you don't say you love them, you got real problems. Why don't you ever say you love me? Because we live together. I just kind of thought that was implied. I'm sitting here watching episodes of The Bachelorette eating gluten-free pasta, you raging lunatic. How do you not know that I love you? You think I did stuff like that when I was single? Really? Is that how you thought I lived my life? Bozeman, what you up to tonight? Oh man, just chilling, watching The Bachelor, gnawing on raw quinoa. You know how I get down on Saturday night and get cray.
I don't know when these kids got so weak. I can't eat white bread because white bread has a gluten in it. I get a gluten in me. We grew up on the whitest of white bread of all time. Wonder Bread. That was like biting into a cloud, it was so white. Help build a strong body 12 ways. 12 ways. I know a body can move 12 ways, but Wonder Bread would do that for you. You know what my favorite sandwich was when I was a kid? Spaghetti and meatball on Wonder Bread. That's enough gluten to kill 4 kids today.
I found out on the same documentary that white people are allergic to gluten. I didn't know y'all were struggling like that, you know what I mean? Y'all should really get the word out. You know, gluten is taking white people out one by one. Droves of dead white people everywhere. You should really let somebody know. Maybe protest, raise a fist, take a knee during the national anthem. I'll have my people contact your people. We can get the word out.
I waited tables during the height of the gluten craze, too, you know? Nobody knew what they were, but everyone was avoiding them, you know? People were like, don't give me glue. I don't know what it is. I think it's a glue, and I don't want paste in my food. Don't give me glutens. I don't want wheat. In fact, no grains of any kind. I'd still like to order this toast. Can you do that? Can you make bread from dreams? That's what I'd really like. I'd like a dream bread sandwich with a side of pretend fries and some imaginary juice. Hook it up, chop, chop, no glutens, move it. Fat people don't worry about glutens, you know. Like food allergies, you know, what's it gonna do? Make me swell up? Too late. Uh-oh, all food does that. I am swollen right now from food. These are just hives. I'm breaking out. Got 2 hives up top, big hive down low. Feeling a little hivey. I'm like Blue Hivey. I'm Beyonce's kid, you know what I mean? If you liked it, you should have put an onion ring on it. With no onion and no glutens, hook it up, bro.
Something about me, this year I've lost about 50 pounds. I'm pretty proud of that, 50 pounds this year. Working on it. Still wearing dark colors and untucking. This is phase 2. I did the low carb diet. Anybody ever do the low carb thing? Is that a thing? Your keto? It's a lot of cheese and butter and meat. You can lose weight. It's amazing. It's like you just stay away from the carbs and the bread and the starches and the happiness, all of that, and then you can lose weight. It sounds like Disneyland for fat people. That first week, they're explaining it to you. You're like, I can have a 6-egg omelet with bacon, fried in an inch of hog lard, and lose weight. Sign me up, Slim. Hallelujah. Let's go. That's week 1. I'm in week 12, y'all. Week 12's different. Because I've lost some weight, and also, I want to murder my family. So, turns out, carbohydrates is what's holding civilization together. In case you're wondering what was doing it. That's right. This whole North Korea thing could be solved with a crescent roll. I'm telling you guys. Kim Jong-un just needs some pancakes. He's hangry. Okay.
And Tammy's dieting now. That means I'm dieting. That's the rules. Because you honor your wife. If she wants to diet, I'm dieting. She's on keto now. We've tried paleo. We've tried Atkins. Now we're on keto. She wants to get into ketosis. That's fine with me. I got cookies in my office in the basement. I was handing out cookies to my grandchildren one day. One of you will betray me. Yeah. My grandson, is it me, Papa? Is it me? It is you, you little punk. Those crumbs off your lips. So I'm unpacking the groceries after the big keto buy. Tammy went out and bought a bunch of groceries for keto, and I'm unpacking them, and I come across rice cakes. Never had a rice cake in our home, don't know what a rice cake is, never eaten one. All I see is the word cake. And I call her out on it. I go, baby, I thought cake was a no-no with the keto. And she says, no, that's for our cheat day. Apparently on keto, you get to cheat one day a week. Cool as that? So a few days went by and I'm ready for my cheat day. And I remember, sir, we have cake. I ran to the pantry. I pull one out. I pull a cake out, rice cake out of the package. I'm feeling it. Yeah, it kind of feels like a brake pad, you know. But it's cake. How bad can it be? Oh. I took a bite and never made it to my throat. I said, baby, these are stale. She says, no, that's the way they are. I go, then this isn't cake, it's caulk. It's not food, it's insulation. Who are these people kidding? I threw the rest of them to our 3 dogs. I go, you eat these things. And our dog scarfed them right up. Hour later, went in my front yard and passed a thermos. Got a yard full of Yetis out there. I'm telling you, I can't keep up with the food anymore anyway. GMO, non-GMO. You know, we had food, didn't we, sir? We had food. That's when we were growing up, food. And you ate it because kids were starving in China. That's all you knew. Eat that. There's a kid in China starving. Oh, he's not getting my food. Now it's GMO, non-GMO, organic, non-organic, gluten, gluten-free, kale. I never saw kale in my life until Tammy went on keto. Now it's ubiquitous. It's all over my house. You can't put enough ranch dressing on kale to make it taste good. Oh, and then one night she makes kale chips. You know what kale chips are, sir? It's kale leaves on a cookie sheet burned in the oven at 400 degrees. They cinch these. She pulls out this smoldering heap of weeds. She throws them on my plate. I go, what are these? She said, kale chips. I go, it's a brush fire. What are you talking about? This isn't food. I tried to give them to my dog. My dog goes, no way, man. My dog eats the cat litter. What does that tell you?
You never know. It's like, I'm trying to eat right, too. I'm trying to eat better. But you never know what... You could be eating something you think you know is healthy. And next thing you know, they recall it, and it was poison. They've recalled 3 different types of lettuce in my lifetime. When I was a kid, they did it with iceberg. About 20 years ago, there was a problem with the spinach. And wasn't it just last year, the romaine had to get recalled. You know what they've never recalled in my 43 years on this planet? Cheetos. Never once called those back. Why would they have to? Like, oh, sorry, we found vitamins in this. We're gonna have to get rid of it. This is awful. I don't know about the rest of you. I can't eat right all day. It's too long of a day. I have food morals when I wake up, but the longer I stay awake, the more I lose them. Right? And the better I start, the worse I finish. Right? If breakfast is egg whites and fiber cereal, dinner is like a sheet cake with corn dogs stuck upside down. Begging total strangers, someone put me to sleep before I make another bad decision. I've tried every diet under the sun, the no carb, the vegan, the low carb. Low carb is the hardest one to pull off at a buffet, especially at breakfast, because it makes your plate look ridiculous. Nobody knows what you're doing, because low carb still has a little bit of carb. You're sitting there with eggs, bacon, ham, sausage, and 1 apple. I did that once. This older guy kept looking at me. Finally, he came up and went, you know, buddy, you're asking an awful lot from that apple. He's right, too. All the food gets in my colon. That apple turns into a bouncer at a nightclub. Right, everybody out. Everybody out. What, did vegetables call in sick again? Yeah, everybody out. People say, Chris, how do you know? How do I know if I'm eating too much? How do I know if I have an unhealthy relationship with food? Here's a good way to tell. Do you have eating outfits? That is never a good sign. If you've ever uttered the phrase, these are my barbecue jeans, you need help.
Now, you got to understand that Christmas is the one time of year that I get to eat whatever I want, because it takes an enormous amount of energy to do what I do. And so just put in my chocolate chip, we're good to go. Because most of the year I'm on a diet. I'm on the keto diet, high protein diets. Because, well, there's a lot of reindeer that don't make the cut. It's a sad reality. It's unfortunate.
She told me the trick to her diet was simple. You know, ladies are like, there's no simple diet. All you have to do is read the labels and don't put anything into your body that you can't pronounce. Those were my rules. Just read the labels. If you can't pronounce it, it's bad for you. Don't eat it. So I went home and I ate a bag of sugar. And a stick of butter. I made cookies inside my belly. It knows the recipe. It's got my body is a wonderland, right? Body is a wonderland. Last week she told me my food log was off. I didn't know what a food log was. Well, I thought that's what happened after you ate the... Yeah, I did it. She told me I put too many olives on top of my salad. You want to make a large lady mad, you tell her she ate too many vegetables last week. Too many vegetables? That's not even fair. And how can olives be bad for you? I thought if you opened a can of something and you couldn't reseal it, that was a serving. Especially if it tells you on there how many of them you can eat. It says olives them. Too many olives. It's 3. You're shocked like me. 3 tiny little olives is a serving. And I was like, lady, that's not even enough for every finger at Thanksgiving. You guys do that? Do you put the olives? Do you ever put the bugle hats on top of the olives? Make little witches out of them? Like, this one's you, Mom. And that's how you sit at the kids' table at Thanksgiving, people. You get to sit with all the millennials.
My wife is beautiful and doesn't know it. I was on a diet. Been on a diet 2 years. I'm thinking mathematically, she should be gone by now.
We're freaked out about fitness. Heard a diet product out in the radio. This is their claim. It works 3 times faster than starvation. Yeah. How do they even know that it works faster than starvation? Have some bizarre clinical trial. Here's Mandy. She eats 3 meals a day and uses our product. Next to her, little Naboo. He's starving. No, Naboo, you can't have her food. You're the control group. Put down the pickle, get back on the scale. Obsessed about our weight. It's crazy. A friend of mine said, I'm up 3/4 of a pound. Who cares? If all you care about is the number that's on the scale, try amputation. I'm on the new amputation weight loss program. With one simple procedure, I lost 14 pounds. Plus now I can park wherever I want. And I am burning way more calories hopping to stuff. This is true. My dad had one leg. He thought that was a funny joke.
Diets. I tried every kind of diet. I was on this Minecraft diet, 3 square meals a day. Did nothing.
Oh, y'all. I'm so much more, way more than I have. And since I had a baby in the hospital, I probably weigh about the same that I had a baby in the hospital. And back then, I remember thinking, oh my gosh, what in the world's happened to me? And I had my class reunion right after I had my first baby, and I wore a big jumper, and I was nursing. And I remember like drinking a Diet Coke, and my breast milk shot out the front of my dress. And then one of my friends from high school said, when are you going to have your baby? And I was like, I've had my baby. But anyway, I feel fat, and it's my hormones. I have no testosterone. I went to the doctor. I had no testosterone, no progesterone. I have way too much estrogen, which evidently makes you bitter and angry and hateful. That's what my family says. I think they're bitter and hateful and angry. But it has messed up my weight and all that. Well, that, and I've been eating white flour. But I have been on every diet in the world. I've done everything. I've done Whole30. I've done South Beach. I have done Weight Watchers. All right, I praise God that Weight Watchers doesn't have a limit on how many times you can join. Because I have joined Weight Watchers 9 times. And lost 7 pounds in all. Come to find out, you have to follow a program. I know that, but I go because the meetings are funny, and it's like going to a comedy club. It really is. It's like AA, but it's for people who eat their emotions. And that's who I am. I eat my emotions. Like my husband would come home and the kids would be fighting and he'd say something like, what have you done all day? And I'd eat a hot dog and I don't even know where it came from. Well, I had to keep from drinking whiskey. I didn't want to get hooked on whiskey with little children. So I joined Weight Watchers so many times, and this last time, Oprah bought it. And they had Oprah on TV, and she was twirling pasta on a fork and running through tall grass. And I thought, well, if she can do it, I can do it. No, so, no, turns out, no, for the ninth time. But what the deal is they give you a point value on food. So fruits and vegetables are free. You don't care, really. And like a piece of beef that's the size of a credit card. It's like 5 points or something like that. You don't want any of that. You're so hungry when you start that you could eat the wallpaper off the walls. You want a Snickers bar, but they're like 12 points. My sister goes on it every time I do, and she'll call me and she'll say, it's noon, and I've eaten all my points.
I always love that it's one weird trick. Lose weight using a weird trick. Why, if it were to say, lose weight using diet and exercise, we'd all be like, no way. Do you want me to do something weird? I'll do something weird, though. I'll click on that. I love weird stuff. It's not a good idea, guy.
I'm celebrating my 57th birthday. Right? Oh, it was September 30th, but I'm still celebrating my 57. Wow. Like, and I lost 100 pounds like a whole 5th grader off my body. It's I have no right to ever complain about anything. And we're talking a whole lifetime of dieting, exercising, just struggling with my weight, right? 4 years ago, I get introduced to a diet where you don't do nothing. Nothing. The pounds just fly off whether you want them to or not. Yeah, it's called the stress diet. Yeah. Whenever I say this to people, they go, but Nikki, when I'm stressed, I gain weight. I go, that's because you're not doing it right. And spend more time crying, you know what I mean? Look at me, I gave up cake and cookies. All I had to give up was happiness and peace of mind. Look at that brand new body. I'm not recommending this diet though, okay? It's not a good one, trust me. I still have all the skin that was around the fat that I lost. I still have that. I don't know what to do with it. I ran to go answer my phone from the shower the other day. I thought I heard a round of applause. I'm like, who's in here clapping? I mean, thank you, but show yourself. Where are you? Too much extra skin. I couldn't wait for long sleeve season because of these things. A friend of mine goes, Nikki, you know you're gonna have to get skin surgery to repair your arms. And I'm like, no, I am not. I'm going to get feathers tattooed on the outside. And spread my wings. Even when I was on the TV show, they tried to put me on a diet. Really? I said, I don't even eat a lot. You know, I just don't have a metabolism. That's it. Everything I eat, I gain weight. Gum, ice, it doesn't matter. It's all fattening. So they advised me to change the things that I eat, like don't eat pork anymore. I was like, what? No, pork? Pork is delicious. You know, I can't cold turkey pork. Maybe you can find me some sort of support group or something, you know. Wean me off slowly. Let me walk around for a couple of months and wear a pork patch. I don't know. And I really only just love bacon. Can I just keep eating bacon? And they go, yeah. Yeah, bacon is fine, but why won't you try turkey bacon? You know, I'm not as dumb as I look. I know you cannot mate a turkey and a pig. I know this. How did you get that meat, please? I don't even care how you got it. Can we suffice it to say I don't like interracial breakfast meat, period. Give me the turkey or give me the pork. Don't give me both together. I don't. I'd rather eat Kevin bacon. Thank you.
So I had to go to the doctor for this issue. And go to the doctor. The doctor walks in looking at my file. And he's like, Mr. Fonokalafi, are you concerned at all about how much you weigh? Well, now I am. Thank you for that concern. He starts telling me these diets I could try to lose some weight. He calls one the grazer diet. He's like, eat 5 meals a day instead of 3. It boosts your metabolism. You start cutting some weight. Oh. Well, I'm not sure if you noticed, Doc, I'm already on that diet. That's why we're here. I get irritated when people tell me what I should eat, what my diet should be. Like, when did it become socially acceptable for people to just tell me, like, what it should be? I had this lady come up to me and just tell me, like, oh, I buy pants 2 sizes too small, and I see it as a goal. It's like, I do something similar like that. I buy pants 2 sizes too big, so I feel good about myself. And it is working. It is. Talking to this girl named April, who's a vegetarian. Just stupid. She was like, animals have feelings too. I was like, yeah, they also have great taste, so until that changes. She was like, yeah, have you ever even eaten a salad? I was like, yeah, but it's inside a hamburger. That's where that belongs. I didn't surprise her though. I actually did a 6-month vegetarian diet. Just dead silence. That's the correct response. It was great. I did for 6 months straight. I ate nothing but vegetarians. Which have more meat in them than I thought they would. Which is interesting.
But you are supposed to start taking care of yourself. That's what people say. I've done pretty much everything except diet and exercise. And I think at this point, what more can I do? I've tried different diet stuff that they've tried to throw at me. I tried the caveman diet, right? Eat what the caveman ate. So I had Fruity Pebbles every day for like a week. I didn't see the results, to be honest. And had some Cocoa Pebbles here and there just to switch it up. Get that muscle confusion going. And so...
I feel good. I lost 20 pounds. How about that? Woo! But I get about 15 more, and I think I'll be where I want to be. And I tried everything, too. I was on Weight Watchers, I was on Jenny Craig, and she's like, get off me, Tubby. And I cut out, I was bad.
Trying to lose weight. I'm working on it. I'm eating right and exercising. It's the worst. I'm miserable. That's why so many people are fat. It's so easy. It's like, oh, I just have to lay here and eat pizza? Okay. Like, it's the easiest thing.
You ever watch one of these comedy specials and you wonder, did that person lose a bunch of weight beforehand? I did. I lost 15 pounds before this special. Don't clap, because I'm not happy about it. I don't want to lose 15 pounds, yeah. But I'm doing a lot of stuff now. Like, I'm taking photos with everybody, because I want to be known as the guy that looked like this. Right? I went and got my doctor's appointments next week, because last year he was very judgmental. He's like, you're getting too heavy. I'm like, you're fat. Doctors don't like when you turn it around on them. He's like, I'm the doctor here. He's like, if you want to lose weight, you should probably, pick a celebrity, Scott, and then you could, do their diet. So I went on the Bill Clinton diet. Something about that one. Every day's a potential cheat day. I don't know if you know that. Yeah. You don't like that one, you can insert Donald Trump. It really works for everybody. That's where we're at now. Sorry. So, I don't know. And then he tells me this. He's like, well, how's your career going, Scott? I'm like, it's going well. He's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, I had a new CD. It's been selling well. It was on iTunes. He's like, I'd like a copy of that. I'm like, glad to get you one. There is a $25 copay with that CD. That was the greatest day ever to be a comedian. Then he gets back on the diet thing, and he's like, well, you know, you don't want to see it as a diet. You need to think of it as a lifestyle. Have you heard that? I'm like, I don't really. Here's the story. A diet means that you're eating stuff that won't make you heavy, like celery or kale. My brain thinks a lifestyle is cheeseburger and donuts. So I will tell you, I will eat kale if you bread it, deep fry it, and serve it with a side of ranch. That's an American meal. I don't know. So it's kind of interesting. Is anyone on the paleo diet? Is anyone doing that one? Right? That's good, right? Yeah. Do you think early man would have stayed on that diet if he had any choices? There wasn't a stuffed crust pizza and Oreos around the corner. And then my doctor was like, you need to drink 8 glasses of water a day. Does anyone drink 8 glasses of water? I get, same guy. You should be more fit than you are, actually. I mean, you're pretty fit, but I mean, come on. Paleo, water, did you start yesterday? Is that what happened? Yeah, exactly. Wanted to look good for your special, Scott. Don't worry, I've been looking at this guy. I can't tell if he's having a good time, right? I mean, he's been laughing the whole time, but his arms are very crossed. So is you too, sir. Maybe you got tender nipples. I don't know what's happening. Don't judge them. It's kind of a dry and chafing season. Here's what I think about water, okay? Like if something's delicious, it's buttery or it's chocolatey or it's bacony, it's not watery. My grandfather drank 2 beverages his whole life, Schlitz and Mountain Dew. Lived till he was 87 years old. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. But then he was like, I'm asking him about acid reflux because I'm like having that. And he's like, well, what you need to do on that is you need to quit drinking any coffee, any tea, any pop, and no alcoholic beverages. And in that moment, I had a light bulb decision. I'm like, with those restrictions, I need to record my comedy special in Provo, Utah. All right? Here I am. No peer pressure. Especially from the paleo water drinker over there. And they say, well, you need to eat like, how you ate when you grew up. We ate health. No, I grew up in the 70s. That was the most unhealthy time. Every other meal my mom made was a casserole. And I will tell you, there was only 2 vegetables I can ever remember my mom serving. Corn and potatoes. Once a year, we'd get broccoli because we had like too much Velveeta cheese we needed to get rid of. Right? People eat way more healthy now. At least than I did. There was like 7 fruits. Now there's like 150 fruits when you go to the grocery. There were 7. And 2 of them that I mostly ate were peaches and pears and heavy syrup out of a can. Healthier. I mean, the weekends were worse for me. I remember every morning, for on the weekend, I would eat Captain Crunch for breakfast. Lunch, I'd have pizza rolls. And dinner, my mom would serve a steaming hot pot pie. In 1978, I don't believe I ever had any skin on the roof of my mouth. None. 0. My poor mom. She had me when she turned 18 years old. The good part was she was always kind of the cool, fun mom. The negative was she was always poor, could not cook worth a crap. Terrible cook, she was 18. 23, I'm going to school for the first time. And she's like, so how was your first day at school? I'm like, I don't remember much about school, but that school lunch is awesome. Those chicks with a hairnet, they know what they're doing. Get this, they put hamburger in the hamburger helper. She's like, well, it doesn't come in the box. I've never seen it. Check those directions. True story.
My wife treats me like I'm the child now. That's the downside, you know? My wife's got all this extra love to give. She gives it to me. I don't want it. There's too much pressure with all that love. Because she treats me like I'm the child. You know what she did recently? She changed our whole diet to eating nothing but organic food. Where are my organic food people in the audience? Well, what a weak and feeble attempt at being organic, right? You're like, yeah, oh, I barely have the strength to put my hands together right now. Oh, this is so painful because I don't have the fat content to protect my hand. Oh. Organic girls right here. I asked her, I go, why after all these years did you switch our diet to organic food? And my wife said, well, we'll be healthier and then we'll live longer. And I said, we've been married 26 years. Why would I want to do that? No. I put my time in. I want pizza. I deserve double stuffed crust. What do? You're in a relationship. You've got to appease your partner. So I did it, you know, the green leafy vegetables, the organics. I did it for like 2 weeks and then I snap and I find myself in a dark part of town and I've got this giant dirty bacon cheeseburger in my hand and I'm scared to take a bite of it because I feel like I'm cheating on my wife with food. Well, how can I try to make it healthier? I'll throw the gluten buns to the side. I'll take the bacon out of it. I'll scrape the cheese off it. Now I'm sitting there like a dummy with a patty and a pickle. I'm like, what am I doing? The unemployment rate is like 5%. It was somebody's job to put that burger together. The last thing I want to do is hurt the American economy even more. So I took the burger, I put it back together. I walked it to the counter, had him add guacamole, because I'm a job creator. That's right. Creating jobs for Americans. One avocado at a time. She shops at a store called Sprouts. Do you have Sprouts here? You really have Sprouts? Look at you two. Yeah! Sprouts, it's all sprouting. It's alive. It's alive, Sprouts. Sprouts is an organic grocery store. Here's how crazy the whole organic movement has gotten. We're shopping at the Sprouts, and we get home with the toilet paper. There's a bag of leaves.
No, this healthy friend of mine, she thinks fruit is a dessert. Guys, fruit is not a dessert. Fruit is a snack between meals when I'm on a diet.
I gotta watch what I eat though, because I got too much high cholesterol. Went to the doctor, he said, your cholesterol level is 425. That's the highest in my county, so I get to go to regionals in a couple of weekends. I've been eating butter to get my numbers up. Juicing, you know? Yeah. Yeah, my doctor didn't laugh. He got angry. He's like, you need to immediately change your diet and your exercise programs. I'm like, that is gonna be hard, because I am not currently running either program at this moment. I said, what should I do first? He goes, why don't you pick a diet and get on it and come back in a couple of months, we'll check you again. But he didn't say what diet. I like to eat meat, so I found the Atkins diet. You ever hear about the Atkins diet? Weird diet. You're supposed to eat meat 4 or 5 times a day. Then it recommends you smoke a cigarette and take a nap. That was a weird diet. It was a Chet Atkins diet that I got on. I don't know if y'all know Chet Atkins.
Now, when you are working out, you have to be very careful, everybody, because apparently working out is the slippery slope to eating right. Oh. And it's hard to do now, right? Because everything's got to be organic, gluten-free, registered to vote. My doctor said no alcohol, no caffeine, no fatty foods. I said, no copay. I'm not paying to hear heresy.
Trying to watch my weight. I'm on a special diet. Turns out I'm allergic to gluten-free food. And it's not easy killing free-range gluten in the wild. You gotta club them to death.
So yeah,
It's been crazy. You know, I'm glad I'm losing weight. I had to lose weight before my surgery, and so I tried a couple of diets. I tried Weight Watchers. That didn't work for me. And their whole thing is they convert calories to points. And basically, they give you a certain number of points based on how much weight you need to lose. And I had 62 points a day, right? And they was like, oh, count your food, count your points. Oh, trust me, I'm counting. I was like the Count from Sesame Street. One bag of Hershey's Kisses. 2 sleeves of Thin Mints. That's half a point. The other thing that I always get to when I was trying to lose weight, people would always come to me and go, Bryan, you know what? You want to lose weight? Have salad. Have a salad. Have you heard of salad? Salad. Fill up on salad. Yeah, nothing fills me up like a big bowl of dead leaves. Oh, tasty. And I can prove to you that salad's not that great. You know those jelly beans they have that have every flavor in the world? Yeah, no lettuce flavor. Yeah, they have disgusting flavors, which means that you'll fat over the lettuce. So they get down to like a couple and they're like, do you guys want to do lettuce? And they're like, can we do earwax instead? Yeah, I vote for earwax.
A few months ago, I started a diet program, just doing calories in, calories out. And I'm down about 40 pounds in a few months, thank you. And I'll take that. It's weird, whenever you try to lose weight, like your friends will always give you the worst advice you've ever heard in your entire life, right? Like one friend of mine's like, oh, you should do intermittent fasting. And I'm like, what's that? He's like, oh, intermittent fasting's great. You can eat whatever you want between the hours of 10 a.m. and 10:01 a.m. Whatever you want. I'm like, another buddy of mine tried to get me on this thing he called the bowl diet. Like, I think he made this thing up. Like, basically, if it comes in a bowl, you can eat it. I've never seen someone eat pizza with a spoon before, but there we were.
No, I'm just I lost some weight recently. I'm very excited about that. I figured out this year, so far I've lost about 12 pounds. So thank you. I will be honest with you, I did gain 27 of it back. And I've tried everything. I've tried all the diets, everything. Atkins diet, tried that. If you want to lose weight, or just if you want to say you're on a diet, dudes, Atkins diet. That's it. You do it's protein, lots of protein. Like page 2, you're eating bacon. Like all the bacon you want. Like bacon. And not like, oh, put some bacon bits on your salad. No, just bacon. Because you think about it, first of all, it's kind of counterintuitive. You eat a lot of protein, but think about this. You ever see a fat carnivore? You ever see a fat cheetah run around? No? You ever see a fat cow, herbivore? Yeah. Why? Corn is high in carbs. It's what they eat. Wyoming, back me up on that one.
Man, I've got kind of a small frame. I got a small frame, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to gain some weight. I went on, that cruise was 3 weeks long. I showed back up at home, and I had gained 13 pounds on my frame. That is huge. I show up at the door, my wife's, oh, my, did you get stung by a bee? I said, no, there was just a lot of sea days and a lot of good food. I didn't know anybody. I ate. What are we going to do? She goes, that's okay. I have a diet I've been dying to try out on you. So I'm going to just give you this diet, people. I'm just going to give it to you just in case you ever have too many cookies and you just want to lose some. I lost 10 pounds in 10 days on my wife's diet, and she was fabulous. I'm just going to give it to you. Apparently, if you are not good with chopsticks, it takes you a really long time to get small pieces of food into your mouth. And after about 20 minutes, your brain just says, oh, hey, this is a negative calorie intake situation.
We are losing energy through this motion, not replenishing any. Shuts off your hunger system. 10 pounds in 10 days. If you're good at chopsticks, just switch hands. But 10 pounds in 10 days, amazing. Now, I want to be completely honest with you because I only got 5 minutes left or so. I did lose 10 pounds in 10 days. But my wife only gave me 1 stick.